Thanks for joining us for CBN News Today. I'm Charlene Aaron.
And I'm Ephraim Graham. The former IRS official at the center of the Tea Party targeting scandal is coming under fire today. A House committee is seeking criminal charges against Lois Lerner and taking steps to charge her with contempt for refusing to testify in the investigation. Our Heather Sells has the latest.
The House Ways and Means Committee voted Wednesday to refer Lois Lerner's case to the Justice Department for prosecution, saying she violated the rights of conservative groups and misled investigators. Lerner denies those charges.
I have not done anything wrong.
Lerner was head of the IRS tax-exempt division when the agency targeted Tea Party and conservative groups who were trying to gain tax-exempt status. The chairman of the Ways and Means Committee says Lerner specifically targeted Crossroads GPS. It's a political nonprofit founded by GOP strategist Karl Rove. Chairman David Camp says Lerner tried to have the group's application denied. A congressional report cites former IRS agents who say liberal groups were not targeted in the same way.
This wasn't an equal opportunity discrimination. This was targeted discrimination coming from the Internal Revenue Service. And what I'd like to address now is that our view is that that determination came from the highest ranks of the Internal Revenue Service.
The House committee says Lerner violated federal law in 3 ways: using her position to improperly influence agency action against conservative groups, impeding official investigations by providing misleading statements, and risking confidential taxpayer information by using her personal email to conduct official business.
I think that the IRS is going to do everything it can to silence anybody in America who wants to talk about how elected officials voted on Obamacare. I actually believe that that is the fundamental reason for all of this effort.
Lawyers for the conservative groups believe politics is behind Lerner's actions, and Democrats say Republicans are being partisan by pressing for charges against Lerner. Wednesday's vote to refer her case to the Department of Justice reflects the divide. All Republicans voted in favor, and all Democrats voted against. Heather Sells, CBN News.
A Pennsylvania high school is closed today following Wednesday's stabbing spree. The suspect faces 4 counts of attempted homicide and 21 counts of aggravated assault, and his father is speaking out.
I can say my prayers go out to everyone who was injured today, and I hope they recover as quickly as possible. He's a typical young kid. He's a B-plus student. It's the families like Ozzie and Harriet. They have dinner together every night. I mean, they did not see this coming.
Last night, there were prayer vigils and tears in the suburban Pittsburgh community, and many students and faculty at Franklin Regional High School are being hailed as heroes. One student pulled the fire alarm to alert everyone in the building. But the incident did not end until an assistant principal tackled 16-year-old Alex Herbal.
Bring healing to our region.
Here again, we're witnessing young people being hurt, and I just feel very strongly that we need to address the underlying issues.
Prosecutors say the suspect will be tried as an adult. 21 students and a security guard were injured.
Ministers in Detroit are holding a vigil following a brutal mob attack in the city. 44-year-old Steve Utash suffered severe head injuries April 2nd when 6 people beat and kicked him. He was attacked after stopping to help a 10-year-old boy that he accidentally hit with his pickup truck. Some of his attackers are being charged with attempted murder. Catholic, Jewish, and Protestant leaders, along with the victim's family, are holding a vigil to pray for him as he fights for his life in a local hospital. They're also praising the heroic woman who stepped in to stop the attack.
People always pull the race card and the race lens and the racism lens, and our conversation seems to stall there. But we're here to say there's something else at work in this whole affair, the heroism, the courage, the self-sacrifice of Detroiters.
It's unfortunate when it takes incidents like this to bring us together. But, you know, we have a faithful and strong clergy community.
5 people, including 2 teens, have been arrested in this case.
For the second time in 5 years, President Obama joined those mourning at the Fort Hood Army base. The president and first lady attended the memorial for the victims of last week's mass shooting. Army Specialist Ivan Lopez opened fire, killing 3 people and wounding 16 others before killing himself. President Obama quoted scripture saying, "Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." In 2009, the president attended another memorial at Fort Hood after an Army major killed 13 and wounded more than 30.
A soldier who survived last week's Fort Hood shooting is calling for a law change that would allow soldiers to carry firearms on base. In a letter to Texas lawmakers, First Lieutenant Patrick Cook describes the feeling of helplessness as he had when the shooter, Ivan Lopez, opened fire on the base. Cook found himself trapped in an enclosed room with 14 others, with Lopez shooting through the other side of the door. He writes, "Stripped of my God-given right to arm myself, the only defense posture I had left was to lie prostrate on the ground and to wait to die." In the letter, he also describes the heroism of Daniel Ferguson, who sacrificed his life to stop the shooter from entering the room.
Ukrainian authorities are threatening to use force against pro-Russian separatists who've taken control of government buildings in several cities in the east. They've given the protesters 2 days to get out. In Luhansk, pro-Russian demonstrators seized the government security building and raised a barricade out front. Hundreds camped out, chanting the name of Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Ukrainian government says Russia is fostering the unrest in an attempt to expand its influence over eastern Ukraine. Meanwhile, NATO has released pictures of the tens of thousands of troops massed on the Ukrainian border. Russia is also threatening to make Ukraine pay for its natural gas shipments in advance, which could cripple Ukraine's weak economy.
Earlier today, searchers looking for the missing Malaysia airliner detected another underwater ping that could be coming from the plane's black boxes. That makes 5 since Sunday. They're narrowing the search area based on the new information, but the pings are spread out over many miles, and they may be as deep as 15,000 feet. The Australian official in charge of the search says he is hopeful crews are closing in on the final resting place of that vanished jet. However, searchers will not say they have found Flight 370 until they actually see wreckage.
House Republicans are set to vote today on a budget aimed at cutting deficit spending and balancing the books. The budget proposed by Senator Paul Ryan includes cuts in health care spending and food stamps, including $2 trillion over the next 10 years in health care subsidies and coverage under the Affordable Care Act, and $732 billion in cuts to Medicaid and other health care programs, and almost $1 trillion in cuts to other benefit programs like food stamps, Pell Grants, and farm subsidies. Even if the budget bill clears the House, it's not expected to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate.
Conservative politicians are attacking President Obama's policies on all fronts, but Louisiana's Republican governor is taking it more than just harsh words. They have come up with ideas of their own. David Brody, he's got the story.
Bobby Jindal isn't shy when calling out his own party.
As a party, we can't just be the party of no.
Or criticizing candidates whose comments make Republicans look insensitive.
We've got to stop being the stupid party.
As part of an attempt to rebrand the GOP, Jindal can be seen this week teaming with Jeb Bush in a project called New Republican as the party tries to attract new voters. Jindal's biggest splash, however, could be that he's viewed as a one-man idea factory.
We need to win the war of ideas, not only because I think it's the path forward to us being a majority, a governing party, but also, secondly, if we really think these issues are so important for America, if we think we're at a critical tipping point, we owe it to have that discussion with the American people.
And the ideas are flying. As a former health official and congressman, Jindal has made a career out of studying political policies and strategies. Besides his role as governor, he's created the conservative organization called America Next. Its tagline, winning the war of ideas. Jindal used America Next to spell out his version of health care reform. Among the headlines, health savings accounts and $100 billion for states creating laboratories of democracy on health care.
Let's make health care more portable so when you lose your job, you don't lose your coverage. Let's also make sure that we can help individuals form voluntary purchasing pools to be able to afford health care There are real policies that will drive down the cost that don't involve the government taking over health care.
Jindal talks fast, and it can be tough to keep up with all his points, ranging from energy production to school choice programs.
Let's trust parents to make those decisions. So let's let the dollars follow the child instead of making the child follow the dollars. We trust parents to be the first and best educators of their children.
School choice is a hit in Louisiana. He's also privatized at a lower cost many jobs that used to be run by the state. And possibly more impressive is that his fiscal approach of cutting programs and government waste has meant balanced budgets. It all adds up to speculation that he's gearing up to run for president in 2016.
We've got one liberal party already in the Democratic Party. We don't need two. Now, yeah, we need to appeal to all sorts of folks and show them that conservative principles will work for them. But I don't think we need to become a second liberal party.
And Jindal may be taking that message national in a presidential run in the near future. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.
Despite the president's promises about Obamacare, the cost of health care is going up here in the U.S. Premiums for insurance have been rising sharply. That's according to a survey of insurance brokers by Morgan Stanley analysts. They say the increases are largely due to changes from the Affordable Care Act. Some states were hit harder than others. For individual insurance, the average increase in Delaware has been 100%. In New Hampshire, 90%, Indiana, 54%, and California, 53%. Forbes reports the latest increases come after previous rate hikes in 2013.
And still to come, journalists thrown in jail, Twitter and YouTube shut down. Find out which NATO country is getting into bed with terrorists when we come back.
You had a grandpa named Pop, right?
He died when I was your age.
I saw him in heaven.
What if an ordinary boy,
Is this him?
That's Pop.
Your son had a near-death experience.
discovered the answer to life's most extraordinary question?
Do you think my son went to heaven?
He told me everything was all right.
Based on the incredible true story.
We all want to be supportive.
I want to believe him. But everything he talks about is impossible.
Will you believe?
You saw heaven? It's beautiful.
Heaven is for real. See it this Easter. Rated PG.
Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root, former presidential candidate, conservative national media personality, best-selling author, and true blue patriot. I call what we're living in today the Great Depression 2. More Americans now receive government entitlements than work full-time. The typical family earns less today than in 1989. I understand exactly what's happening to this economy and how you can protect yourself. So I sat down and taped a 30-minute DVD on the topic with all the critical steps needed to ensure Americans can both survive and thrive in 2014. It's called The Timeless Truth About Money. And it's only available in this special TV offer by calling the number below or by visiting online. Thanks to Swiss America, you'll finally understand the true goal of Obamacare, how our trillions in debt will sink the economy, and most importantly, why your golden years require a whole new golden strategy. Call now.
Start planning your journey to the Holy Land. Come to Jerusalem. Breathe the air Jesus breathed that very night in the Garden of Gethsemane. Walk in his footsteps to Golgotha. Step inside the tomb. See the stone where his body lay. Glory to God, he is risen. Ask your pastor or visit goisrael.com to learn more about making the journey that will transform your faith in God and his word. Experience Israel. You'll never be the same.
Voters are flocking to the polls in large numbers in the world's largest democracy. For the next 5 weeks, voters in India will cast ballots to decide which party will control the federal government. So far, polls show the opposition BJP party may win, but will fall short of the majority needed to control the parliament. That would pave the way for a BJP-led coalition. Dr. Sejan George, president of the Global Council of India Christians, says the BJP's return to power may not bode well for Christian minorities. Members of the body of Christ are concerned.
They're afraid, but then what they're seeing is all what they have achieved all these years is going to be destroyed by a stroke of pen in many places because of the way, the aggressive way sometimes the new BJP leadership behaves in this country.
George says the U.S. government will be on the wrong side if it supports a new Indian government that does not protect religious freedom. He asks Americans to keep praying for India and especially for the country's Christians.
An outspoken critic of Islam is accusing Brandeis University of betraying its founding principles by caving to pressure from faculty and students. Brandeis planned to honor Ayaan Hirsi Ali with an honorary degree, but pulled back after complaints. Ali was born in Somalia and raised in a strict Muslim home. She renounced her faith after suffering civil war, genital mutilation, beatings, and an arranged marriage. In 2007, she told Reason magazine, "I think we are at war with Islam, and there's no middle ground in wars." She says Brandeis's reversal is a slur on her reputation and a betrayal of religious freedom.
One of America's most reliable allies could be taking a profound turn toward radical Islam. Turkey has been a friend of the U.S. ever since President Truman was in office. But in recent years, it's been moving in a very different direction. Now the Islamic government there is not only cracking down on dissent, it is even embracing terrorists. Our Eric Stackleback has this story.
Journalists thrown in jail, Twitter and YouTube shut down. Political opponents threatened with prosecution. It's the kind of repression usually found in places like Iran and Syria. Only it's happening in a NATO country with aspirations of joining the European Union.
Under the leadership of Prime Minister Recep Erdogan and his AKP party, Turkey has made clear it is setting a new course, one that could put it on a collision course with the West.
Well, I mean, you have to remember that the AKP, the Justice and Development Party in Turkey, is a spin-off of the Muslim Brotherhood. This is an organization that is founded in Islamist principles.
Jonathan Shanzer is with the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. He calls Erdogan's path a downward spiral.
Mr. Erdogan sees himself as an Islamist and a Turk, first and foremost. And so he's synthesizing Turkish nationalism with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Shanzer recently wrote an extensive report outlining Turkey's role in financing terrorism. A key component, the Erdogan government's relationship with Hamas. Although designated a terror organization by the United States, Hamas leaders regularly meet with Erdogan. Shanzer says that includes top Hamas operative Saleh al-Aruri, who enjoys safe haven in Turkey.
He's a military operative, and he's based in Ankara, and he's met with Erdogan, he's met with Meshal, and he continues apparently to be involved in fundraising and logistics on the part of Hamas.
Erdogan's support of Hamas, a group committed to Israel's destruction, aligns with his own fiery anti-Israel stance. He's called Israeli President Shimon Peres a murderer, and in 2010 allowed a flotilla of ships to sail from Turkey in an attempt to break an Israeli blockade of the Gaza Strip. Violence broke out when terrorists aboard one of those ships attacked Israeli soldiers. Since that incident, relations between Turkey and Israel have been severely strained, with Erdogan even vowing to visit Gaza to meet with Hamas leaders. And Hamas isn't the only questionable friend of Erdogan's Turkey. According to Shanzer, al-Qaeda financier Yassin al-Qadi, a U.S. designated global terrorist, has visited the country frequently.
We're seeing reports that that he has been meeting with senior Turkish businessmen, Turkish officials, that he's been traveling in and out of Turkey without a visa and without a passport.
Turkey has also become a key support hub and transit point for global jihadists traveling to neighboring Syria to battle the Assad regime.
There are now multiple cities along the southeastern border of Turkey that appear to be safe havens for various jihadi groups. We understand that there are Gulf financiers who are operating there in hotels, dispersing cash to some of these jihadis as they travel through.
These activities have caught the attention of U.S. officials.
We have seen multiple visits by Undersecretary Cohen of the Treasury to Turkey. You don't visit Turkey if you're the Undersecretary of Treasury for Terrorism Finance unless there's a problem.
President Obama has enjoyed a close relationship with Erdogan. Yet the Turkish Prime Minister's radical turn has led bipartisan members of Congress and foreign policy experts to demand the White House hold Erdogan accountable for his anti-democratic actions. More journalists are in jail in Turkey than in any other country, and Erdogan violently put down anti-government protests in Istanbul last year. He also recently shut down YouTube and Twitter after political opponents posted a series of recordings claiming to expose Erdogan's corruption. Such measures are unheard of in any other NATO member country today.
We've got early radar systems, early warning radar systems in Turkey. We've got Patriot missile batteries. We've got massive air bases. We've got investments. And look, more broadly, the Turks have served as an important ally for us. If we lose that, I think it would be really detrimental to U.S. foreign policy.
Although Erdogan denies any wrongdoing, corruption charges continue to swirl around his government. Among the alleged misdeeds is a multi-billion-dollar gas for gold scheme in which Turkey helped Iran evade sanctions over its nuclear program. Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News, Washington.
Up next, heaven is for real. We've got a sneak peek at the faith-based film you won't want to miss.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, kids, do you love games? And do you love discovering things? Yeah! Well, do ya?
Then you're gonna love this. It's the new free Superbook Kids Bible app. You can play games, watch videos, find answers to your questions, and a whole lot more. The new Superbook Kids Bible app. Free downloads available on iTunes and Google Play now.
More Americans are growing skeptical of the Bible, according to a new poll from the American Bible Society. The survey found that 1 in 5 Americans doubt the Bible's relevance and authority. That is twice the amount of those skeptical in 2011. The biggest increase in feelings of indifference was among 18 to 29-year-olds. The Society hopes to reach more by utilizing cell phones to share Bible verses and Bible studies.
Well, from Son of God to Noah to God's Not Dead, 2014 is really shaping up as a big year for faith-based films.
Now, the highly anticipated Heaven is for Real is about to hit theaters next week on April 16th, and the CBN and Regent community recently got an exclusive sneak peek. CBN's Angela Zatopek has more.
Heaven is for Real brings the incredible story of 4-year-old Colton Burpo's glimpse into heaven to the big screen. His amazing true story, which was published in a best-selling book, has captured hearts around the world. TriStar Pictures recently gave Regent University an exclusive look. Produced by Devin Franklin and Bishop T.D. Jakes, they give us their insight on the film and what to look forward to.
This film is a great opportunity to bring in the margin of our community who really doesn't normally talk about faith or the afterlife, and you walk away inspired to believe that all things are possible.
Producers say that God's hand was on the project.
We found this young kid, Connor Coram, out of Ohio, had never acted a day in his life. The odds of finding a 5-year-old kid to play Colton was not in our favor. But God really sent Connor to us, and on set, he knew his lines, he knew what he was saying.
Where did you see him?
In heaven.
It's a movie that all ages can enjoy, and those who saw it this night came away inspired.
Kind of brings into reality that what we believe in isn't just kind of a myth or something out there.
I think it was different because it was pure and it was from an innocent child's point of view.
It was a really nice movie. It really inspired me.
How did it inspire you?
Because how little people can do great things.
Heaven is for Real releases nationwide on April 16th. Angela Zatopek, CBN News.
Good job, Angela.
Do you have an idea for an invention or a new product? Brian and Alice Jagosh, the inventors of the halftime drill driver, did. They invented a power drill attachment that lets you drill, flip, and drive in seconds. Brian and Alice licensed their invention to the company that brought you the Snuggie, and it's now selling in major retailers nationwide. Look for the Invent Help Caveman on the package. If you have an invention that you would like to try to patent and submit to companies for possible review and want free information on how Invent Help may be able to assist you, call now. Invent Help is America's largest inventor service company with sales offices in more than 60 cities nationwide. Call Invent Help today for free information. Our clients made a financial gain with their invention, but this is just their individual result. Brian and Alice's experience is not typical, as only a very small number of inventions are licensed or sold in stores.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-559-8567. That's 1-800-559-8567.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Finally, a 9-year-old is being hailed a hero.
That came after a potentially deadly snowmobile accident in South Lake Tahoe. The accident left Bodie Beardnell's father trapped, buried in the snow. They didn't have cell phone service or GPS, so Bodie had to take action into his own hands.
I was pretty nervous, and it was just a lot of pressure on me to try to get someone. I didn't know where to go, and it was really hard. I jumped off my snowmobile and went to go dig him out. I tried to dig him out as fast as I could. My fingers kind of got numb.
His hands got so cold, Bodie had to stop digging. His only other option, leave his father and find help. He eventually came across a tour group who called medics for help. After successful emergency surgery, his dad is now home healing.
Thank God.
Indeed, indeed.
Man, well, that's going to do it for now on CBN News Today. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com.
Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Have a great day, everybody.
Inside every child is a hero, a leader, a friend to others, someone who helps out, who does the right thing, who dreams of what they can be, but they still need our help.
What should I do? What should I say? How should I feel?
That's where Superbook comes in. It provides moral and spiritual truths through situations children can relate to, teaching God's Word to the children you love. Join the Superbook DVD Club and receive Superbook's newest episodes as they're available, plus 2 copies to share with others, all for your gift of only $25. Get Superbook today and watch the miracles happen.
Every day, people are connecting on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Now you can be part of the conversation and connect on topics you care about through 700 Club Interactive. Log on to Facebook, Twitter, or go to YouTube and share your opinions, your prayer requests, and your videos while making friends in our community.
Well, welcome to the show.
Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. 700 Club Interactive. Be a part of the show.